Hey guys, this is Harith and welcome back to True Space. Right now we're going to speak about how the stars of planet distance and closeness affect us biologically, because we understand some stars and planets, they rule spaces and atmosphere that's much more further away in distance to us, so it takes us longer to experience these energies. For example, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, even though those are generational planets and it takes us so far that it takes so long for you to experience the results of these energies compared to stars and planets that rule atmospheres that's much more closer in distance to us, like the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus. So the distance and the closeness of these stars that rule these atmospheres is very important on how it affects us essentially. Because if you, for example, if we take Saturn, which is energy, the rule atmosphere that's so further away from us, it takes us a very long time to experience this energy. So from a biological point of view, this energy takes a long time to play out essentially. Saturn represents our ability to get restrictions, boundaries, our ability to get a structure to stand on, which play out biologically as our bones, ligaments, our hard structures and tissues within our body. But if you really think about it, it takes you a long time to see any skeleton system growth, especially after you complete your childhood period, where you see majority of the growth, which is something amazing, because we don't really notice how our skeleton system developed from this small thing as a child all the way to an adult life, and it does it so noticeably, and it does it so smoothly and efficient. This is something to pay attention to. But this also kind of teaches us that if we don't pay attention to what we do in our younger years, how do we take care of our skeleton system, the type of shapes and forms we put ourselves into, which might affect us in long term. So by that I mean people who work corporate jobs, they have to sit long hours on chairs and they may not exercise and things along this line, or they may not move their body in different range of motion, which allow them to develop different tissues and different kind of abilities within their body. When you sit in one position or do one thing repetitively for too long, what it does, it creates almost like it helps you develop strength, but also it kind of develops some form of weakness in that position, because if that's the only position you're doing, you eventually it's going to be the only position you're going to be able to do. This is why people who sit on chairs for a long period of times, usually they're not very good at squatting deep, aka making their knees bend all the way in so they could squat as touch a ground, which is a saying that Olympic weightlifters and bodybuilders like to say. Majority corporate people who work on computers and things along this line, they can't even squat as to grass. They gotta squat up to 90 degrees because their knees will literally blow up or hurt. The ligaments, the tissue within the knee, cannot handle the pressure, because you lost all the mobility and the flexibility because you used the position for so long without using other position. This is what I mean by becoming aware of what type of shape or form we're gonna putting our body in. And the more we become aware of that, the more kind of we take care of what happened with our skeleton system, our bones, as we get older in life essentially. If you right now in your younger years, or even at any age, you could start develop some form of mobility or flexibility routine. As you get older, your body is not gonna get stiffer, it's not gonna get drier, it's not gonna get older essentially, because you're doing the opposite. You make sure you're stretching, which help you to bring good fluid to your body, good amount of oxygen to your body. Because if you look at old people, what happened to them, their skin becomes dry, their bodies start to lose oxygen, their bodies start to lose water, they're essentially becoming like a mummy, they're getting crucified, or they're drying up. That's Saturn. This is what they call Saturn, the god of death, or the reaper. And essentially it takes it's time for you to feel its effect, because it's the silent death. So kind of we have to be careful on how we shape our ligaments, our bones. But that's a Saturn essentially. But you could see how since you're aware of stars and planet distance and closeness, aka you could know what to do ahead of time so you don't get caught up in certain energies. So for example, we also have Jupiter. Jupiter is a star and a planet and energy that's much more further in distance, but Jupiter represents spiritually our ability to expand so we can extract knowledge and wisdom and give meaning and reason to things. But this energy takes us a long time to develop. It takes us a long time to essentially and really become good at it, because it takes you time to experience so you can extract knowledge and wisdom and give different meaning and reasoning to things. And that plays out as biologically as our muscular system. It plays out as our ability to create either healthy alkaline tissue or bad acidic tissue, which play out as tissue inflammation and things like that. A lot of time we don't, just like our Saturn, how it deals with our bones, our skeleton system, people don't pay attention to Jupiter. People don't pay attention to how their tissues is being expanded on like a daily level, but also on like a longer scheme of things, because people are not aware of how negative inflammation is after it accumulates for a long period of time. This will lead to a lot of muscles issues, even it leads to a lot of bones and ligament issues too, because Sagittarius is beside Capricorn, so your muscles definitely is connected to your ligaments, and your ligaments and bones are connected to your muscles, so they rely on each other. Sagittarius provide the flexibility for Capricorn, that's to stay stiff, but Capricorn provide the strength and the structure for Sagittarius to stand on, the muscles, the softer tissue and things like that through flexibility. So in our younger years, a lot of us, we don't pay attention to our muscular system. A lot of us don't pay attention to how we are expanding our tissues in different ways. Are we doing things that allow us to create healthy tissues, or are we doing things that allow us to create like acidic tissue? We're doing certain, like we're doing drugs, we're doing parties, which cause a lot of inflammation and things along this line. I'm not saying that literally, but kind of trying to make a point. You kind of need to kind of go through good experiences, controlled experiences, so you could develop a good healthy tissue. That's like going to the gym and knowing what you're doing from a workout point of view versus going to the gym and then kind of destroying your body, which causes inflammation, muscles injuries and things like that, and that takes a long time to heal. And just like I was saying earlier with the bones, we don't pay attention to the muscles, so we need to learn how to kind of expand in each area of the muscular body correctly, because a lot of time we have people just train the upper body, some people train the legs, some people they don't know about how to train certain muscles which are important for your postures, important for flexibility. This is why it's Jupiter, the planet of expanding and extracting knowledge and wisdom, which is something that takes you a long time to go through. But the more aware of that energy, the more you pay attention to the experiences that you go through, so you pick good experiences and you don't allow yourself to go through negative experiences which create more inflammation, that creates more issues for yourself. So that's like planets and stars is much more further away. So the more aware we are of the more we could do right now to stop them from playing out the way they do negatively. But if we could control them, we could make them play out way more positive than they are. That's someone who paid attention to his earlier years, so in his later life he does not have all these physical health issues that older people or his friends or family are going through. Now if you want to look at it from planets and stars as much more closer to us, you could kind of pay attention to these energies or these kind of health markers to show you how you're feeling on a like kind of daily level, kind of to see your health. So if you think about your sun represent the way you take action, your vitality, your future, what you're paying attention to. But it play out biologically as our blood, as our heart, as our circulatory system. We have our moon. Our moon represent our immune system, our lymph, and things along this line. We have Mercury. Mercury represents oxygen, our lungs and our bowels, our ability to transport things. We have Venus. Venus are hormones, our endocrine system, our excretory, because it rules Taurus and Libra. We have Mercury, which I said that earlier, but we have Mars. Mars represent our passions, desires, will, sex drive, and things along this line. It represent our neurons, our nervous system, and things along this line. All these planets energies are much more easier for you to see their effect on a daily level. We could see how we ignite our passions, desires. Mars, our nervous system. For you to move your body, you gotta ignite your nervous system, literally. And then we have Venus, your hormonal system. You could see how you feel from day to day, and they could let you know a lot about your hormonal system. If you feel bad or like crap or tired for a long period of time, that tells you there's something going on with your hormonal system. It lacks the ability for you to maintain equilibrium, which is very important. If you don't have good hormones, you can't maintain harmony within your body. And we also have Mercury. Mercury represent our mind, our ability to think, analyze, pick up information, transport, which play out biologically as our ability to transport oxygen through our entire body. It represent our lungs, it represent our bowels, because it rules Gemini, the respiratory system, but also rules Virgo, the digestive system. So that's important, and we need oxygen. We need oxygen continuously till the day we die. The moment we start breathing oxygen, the moment we're gonna start picking up within our immediate surrounding, aka die, literally. It's easier for you to see. It's very easy for you to see the effect of oxygen, for the need for you to breathe, the need for you to control your breath, and things along this line. And we also have the sun. The sun represents your blood, your heart, your circulatory system. If you don't feel good, if you don't have any vitality within your body, you could check on your blood, your heart, your circulatory system. You might have a lot of toxins, a lot of pathogen, which causes your blood flow to stagnate. Your blood carries everything within your body. It carries your oxygen, it carries your hormones, it carries your immune system, your white blood cells. So if your blood cell, your red C is not looking good, you're not gonna feel good at all. So you gotta pay attention to it on a daily level, and just smaller things like making sure you exercise, detoxify, moving your body continuously. Your blood gives your body fluidity, and if you're one of these people who don't like moving, you're gonna lose your blood, you're gonna lose all that fluidity, and all of it is gonna turn to restrictions and boundaries. This is why as you get older, you move less. You move less because you becoming harder, you becoming more drier, you're losing more fluid in your body. So you're moving more from that sun energy base to more of that Saturn energy base, which is taking you to death, which is what we all experience essentially. So that's the video. I hope you guys like it. Like, subscribe, and we got more to come.